Liz, Russell, thanks very much for joining us. Let's lay the groundwork. What's your role within Santa Gertrudis Australia?
My name's Liz Allan. I'm the president of the Santa Gertrudis Breeders Association of Australia, and I am from Western Queensland, stud called Forest Park.
Good stuff. Russell?
Yeah, so Russell Smythe, I'm a field director classifier. I'm employed by the Santa Gertrudis Association. I'm based in northern New South Wales. I'm one of two classifiers. We travel in the entire country, and we've got a system, our classification, which is unique to the Santa Gertrudis breed. We're the only one that does it. So all stud animals are individually inspected by us before they're allowed into the stud book. So it's a very good system to have.
Now, Santa Gertrudis, the headline act here this week, the feature breed. What does that mean?
Look, it's really exciting to be here. It's 23 years since we were last feature breed here, and it just gives us an opportunity to showcase the versatility and the performance of our breed and to be front and centre of all the breeds here in the cattle shed.
And Russell, what is you talk about versatility. What makes Santa Gertrudis so good?
Well, we're such an adaptable breed across a large scale of pure breeding and crossbreeding. We cross with most other animals, most British and European animals. And we're very adaptable to a lot of environments. Our Santa cattle range from, south in the snowy mountains, even into New Zealand and right up into the Gulf, So we're very adaptable in that case. So we're attracted to a lot of different markets.
Really impressed here, the quality of stock that are here and showcasing what you're about. In high performance, we talk about how do we maximise our opportunities. So in your world, it'll be your efficiencies and your productivity. What are some key traits in the breed itself that do that? And as leaders in the organisation, how do you make sure you're marketing that?
I think the versatility of the breed in being able to adapt really quickly to changing markets, because the beef industry is constantly evolving, and when we deal with so many export markets, they've got a diverse range of needs, and the breed's got to be very adaptable to change from market to market, and in weather conditions too. I mean, we've seen in Australia recently, from the flooding in Western Queensland to our members who are drought declared in South Australia and Victoria. So we need an animal that can perform when the times are good, but can perform when the times are really, really bad. And that's why Santa Gertrudis is such a great breed.
And obviously, they're behaving themselves pretty well behind us here. Temperament of the breed, is that something that you look for and that is a strong point of the breed?
Yeah, absolutely. And when we classify as field directors, as I said, temperament is an issue that we select very heavily from. Because temperament is meat quality, and we're trying to put forward a product that is good eating, that is sought after by a consumer. So, and OH&S and welfare standards as well. So, yep, it is very strong on our selection criteria.
And you talk about the versatility or resilience of the animals themselves. What about for the people who work in the industry and breed them and all those things that you're talking about, the floods in the past couple of weeks, but drought, every other year, and then you've got the tariffs that we've seen from the US in the last couple of weeks as well. You have to be resilient and versatile in a high performance sense. How does that work for you?
Oh, absolutely. There are some days you probably go, what the hell am I doing? We had a drought in Western Queensland where I'm from that went for 10 years. You can usually manage for 3 to 4 years, no worries, because that's part and parcel of being a producer. But for 10 years, you've really got to dig deep. And I have to say that if we didn't have the Santa Gertrudis animal, a lot of the businesses out where I work, we may not have survived, because you can always sell them no matter what type of condition they're in, and they are low maintenance, and they just get out, do the job, raise a calf, and somehow survive. They're an amazing animal.
And when you ask yourself that question, why do I do it? What's the answer to that?
Because you love it, and droughts are tough, floods are tough. You've got to be tough, but we just love our animals, and we're so proud of the product that we produce. And it's exciting to be in the beef industry, but really exciting to be in our breed. We've got so many young members coming through, and it's really exciting to see the next generation taking over.
Russ, resilience is a theme I'm picking up here, not only as yourselves as leaders, but also in the breed itself. How do you make sure you foster that and that keeps going?
Well, I mean, through Liz and the association, we run an annual youth camp, which a lot of breeds do, but we're seeing the next generation, they're our future, they're coming through, and, we have judging competitions and parading competitions, and in your high performance area, these kids are competitive, and they're going into an industry that is very competitive, and if you get it wrong, it can turn on you, the rural industry, but if you get it right, it can be exceptionally rewarding. So we've got some really strong youth coming through, and we're building those youth into our program, Liz, through our program. So, yeah, we really find some, I know some people say, the youth of today, but there's some great kids out there. There really are.
Just on that, generationally, there is this view, and maybe it's a city view more than a country view, but the current generation doesn't have the resilience that we might have once had. Do you find that? Do you have to work harder on that with this current generation than perhaps in the past?
I don't think so. I think now with sort of costs of production, a lot of the operations are run very lean. So everyone just has to get in and do their bit. So, yeah, I'd say in our industry, in the beef industry, that, it's everyone's tough and everyone just gets on and does the job. And it's a great breed to be in. We find that the older members are so supportive of the young one and so generous with their time, just to help them out and give them advice and ask questions. Some other breeds you sort of find that they're not quite so forthcoming with knowledge and mentorship, but really pleased to say that it's a wonderful breed, really supportive. I'm the first ever female president of the breed, and I've just been welcomed since I joined the breed, over 40 years ago, and it's a wonderful family to be involved with.
One of the other things that we've learnt from being here today is you talk about generationally. There's more of a focus perhaps on data and science around now than there might have been 20 years ago.
Yep.
How, as a breed, do you balance that in your quest to want to get better and better?
Yeah, I mean, data is extremely useful within the beef industry. We're sort of finding the balance between environment and data and how to utilise that is probably an individual thing from a balancing act from the individual breeder. The association, I think, they oversee that and, set up the facilities to be there. But we're now moving into an era of genomics testing, and some of the DNA information we're going to have available to us in the next, 10 years is going to be phenomenal. I mean, the double pole gene selection, you're breeding a lot of cattle for that pole gene, which is really, revolutioning the industry in the north with animal welfare issues and weight gain issues. So, and with that, I think we have to listen to our buyers, what they're wanting to a certain degree. I mean, we might like what we breed, but in the end, the customers, if what they want is, we've got to give it to them. So, yep.
Nick, I noticed one of the themes is beefing up Australia is your guys' mantra. I noticed they're selling some Santa Gertrudis pies out here, so Nick and I are going to enjoy doing that. What's your favourite flavour in the pie? Have you?
Well, I tried the jalapeno and cheddar pie yesterday, and it was very, very nice. So I recommend. It's a great collaboration between Santa Gertrudis, the Australian Bakery Association, and our thanks to Nolan Meats for generously donating the meat from Gympie. And so I recommend you go and try pie. It's fantastic.
But just finally, we want to thank you for hosting us in this area today. But what does it mean to be able to come and, it is classic country meets the city, city meets the country. What does it mean to spend some time here?
I just think it's a great opportunity to show the city people what the country people can do. You might sort of be seen as an ageing industry and, sometimes bad practices. But I think when you see people here and you see all our members talking to the city people and just the enthusiasm they have for their animal and the product, I think it's a great opportunity to be front and centre and just show Australia how much agriculture does for the country.
Indeed. Well, thanks for spending some time with us today. And again, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.